I am picking zucchini. There's one. Okay. I'm gonna grab that and I'll pick this other one. But I don't know where the other one went. Oh, it's right between my legs. Holy cow. Gosh darn it. Sorry, it's... Yeah, well, seriously, it would have... Okay, I thought I was videotaping. Apparently, I was not. But anyway, I am sitting out in the garden, and I just picked these tomatoes and these onions for my collab for Casey. I already picked a zucchini. I did get it on video, and then I still have to pick oregano and thyme. Where is it? Right here. Okay, so, and there's another one. And another one. Holy cow, how am I missing all these? Yep, that's what I'm doing out here today, is just gathering some stuff for Casey's recipe. So, I am going to cut some oregano and cut some thyme. Some thyme. Oh, you go away.
Granddaddy long leg after you.
Yeah, well, he can just take his little happy butt elsewhere. Okay, this should be enough fresh thyme. I am going to be making my grandmother's casserole for my Keep It Fresh collab that Casey at BootsandBountyHomestead is doing. So make sure to check her out and check out the collab, because there are a lot of collaborators that are doing this. First things first is you want to fry up some bacon. Grandma's original recipe called for 4 slices, but I always like it with more bacon, so I always use 6 slices whenever I make it, because, I mean, bacon, why not? So, that is what I'm going to be working on right now, is getting this fried up. Now, the other thing that it calls for is 1/4 of a cup of celery and 1/4 of a cup of diced green peppers. The celery is store-bought because I do not know how to grow it. The green peppers are from our garden, but if we don't plan to use them right away, we always cut them up and put them in the fridge. So you've got 6 slices of bacon, 1/4 of a cup of celery, 1/4 of a cup of green peppers, and then this is all the stuff that you guys watched me pick. So I'm gonna have to get all of this washed off and cleaned off and cut up. The recipe calls for 1/4 of a cup of onion and, let's see, 1/2 of a cup of zucchini and 1/2 of a cup of the tomatoes. Now, it also calls for 1/4 of a teaspoon of thyme, and then it also calls for 1/4 of a teaspoon of oregano. And so I will be using both of those. It also calls for 1/2 cup of raw rice and 1 cup of shredded cheese, 1/2 cup of water, and you will cook this at 350 for 25 to 30 minutes. You will brown the bacon first, and then you will cook the onion, the celery, the green pepper, and the rice in the bacon grease. so it all just kind of soaks up the bacon grease that is left over. Now, if it's, I mean, a ton of bacon drippings, you might want to scoop out a little bit, you know, because you don't want, like, you know, half a cup of bacon drippings in there. That would be too much to saute those vegetables and the rice. And then you will add the zucchini, the tomatoes, and then you will add the seasonings, the salt, the pepper, the thyme, and the oregano. You will cook all of that together. Then you will put all of it into a casserole dish, and you will sprinkle with the cheese, and you will put it in the oven for a few minutes until the cheese is melted. And then you will crumble the bacon over the top. I'll show you how I do it along the way. That way, I know the recipe sounds kind of confusing the way Grandma had it written down. And so I will show you along the way how I am doing stuff so you guys know. But anyway, I will start getting the bacon fried up. I get the onions and the tomatoes and the zucchini washed up and start getting all that stuff sliced. Okay? And that's what I will be working on right now. I'll see you in a minute. Okay guys, I am cutting up the zucchini. I'm getting ready to dice it up. I do leave the peels on the zucchini. I try to take them off the tomatoes because I just don't like the tomato peel real well. On the bacon, I sliced it up and chopped it up before I fried it just because it's easier for me. So anyway, I've got the bacon cooking, but I am dicing up the zucchini. I do need a half a cup. Okay, now I will work on getting probably the onion chopped up, the green pepper, and the celery will also be fried with that. So I will go ahead and get the green peppers cut up also. Okay, now I'm going to work on chopping up the onion into small pieces. On the onion, you only need 1/4 of a cup. That's chopping up the onion. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get the green pepper sliced up. It's pretty well thawed just from sitting out while I was chopping up the zucchini and the onion and working on frying the bacon. And we needed 1/4 cup of it. That was right at 1/4 cup. So I'm going to go ahead and pour this in with the container with the onion. Now these, I always try to have some celery on hand in the freezer because I never know what I'm gonna throw it in. You know, I mean, I could be just making a quick vegetable soup and be like, yeah, let's just add celery to it today. Now, because this is frozen and it's got a lot of ice added to it, I do add a little extra. If it was fresh and not frozen, I wouldn't. But there is a lot of ice, and so I do add just a touch extra just to make sure that there's actually 1/4 cup of the celery itself and not just ice. We have got the onion, the celery, and the pepper all together in a container, and they're going to be poured into this after I get the hamburger taken out. So I'm going to pause you and get a couple of things done real quick. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and take the bacon out of the grease, and I am putting it on a paper plate with some paper towels. We have to put in the vegetables that we cut up. which was the 4th cup of onion, the 4th cup of celery, and the 4th cup of green pepper. And I've got all that right there together in this. So, okay, so now I'm going to cook and saute these for a little bit until they, are sauteed. Okay, I have to cut up the tomato yet and put it in with the zucchini, and I chose to use 2 orange ones that I picked because this one's got a bad spot on it that I want to get cut out, and I don't want it to put it back in the fridge and it continue to rot. And so I'm going to go ahead and use the orange ones. I've got these vegetables pretty much done as far as the saute goes. So I am going to put in the 1/2 cup of rice. Put the rice in and you stir it around and you coat it with the bacon grease. And I am dicing up the tomatoes, but I'm going to be putting the tomatoes in the same bowl as the zucchini because they will go in together. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add my squash and my tomatoes. And start working on adding the seasonings. Now, you're supposed to use like 1/4 of a teaspoon of dry, but I thought with this being the Keeping It Fresh collab that I would use fresh. Now this is the oregano, and I just sliced up and put in the amount of thyme that I want. So I rinsed all of this off really good, so you want to make sure you do that, especially if you use fresh. And now I will add in salt and pepper. It says 1/2 teaspoon salt and 1/4 teaspoon pepper. I'm just going to put it to our taste. Okay, so we have done our 6 slices of bacon. We have done our 1/4 cup of onion, 1/4 cup of celery, 1/4 cup of green pepper, 1/2 cup rice, 1/2 cup zucchini, 1/2 cup tomatoes, salt, a 1/2 teaspoon salt, 1/4 teaspoon oregano, 1/4 teaspoon thyme, 1/4 teaspoon pepper. Now I am going to add about a 1/2 cup of water. Okay, I got a 1/2 cup of water added. Okay, I'm going to get out my casserole. Actually, in memory of Grandma, I'm going to use Grandma's. Okay, I'm going to put all of this in a casserole dish. I'm going to spread it out really good. Okay, so now we've got it in the casserole dish. I need to get the shredded cheese and sprinkle over the top. The recipe says 1 cup shredded. Cheese is kind of like bacon. If you like a lot of cheese on yours, put a lot of cheese on yours. Okay, I'm going to do this amount of the cheese. Now, Grandma's original recipe says place it in the oven for a few minutes till the cheese is melted, and then it says crumble the bacon over the mixture before serving. But I don't like to do that because some of my pieces of bacon I actually leave a little kind of on the softer coat because I really like cooking it on top and kind of having the bacon melt down into the cheese. And so I go ahead and I sprinkle mine on top. Now, if you feel this is not enough bacon, you are more than welcome to add more to it. That's what it looked like before it goes into the oven. There is a small little bit of a cheater method that I do sometimes when I'm in more of a hurry. If you are one of those people that save the bacon grease and you happen to have a bag of real bacon bits and not those red things that just dye everything red, but actual real bacon bits, you can use that. Seriously, you would fry the vegetables, the onion, the pepper, and the celery in a couple tablespoons of the bacon grease, and then at the end for the bacon, you would take the bag of bacon bits that you have in the fridge and sprinkle that over the top. I will put this in the oven for about 25 minutes. Okay, so the oven just went on, and so I am going to get it out of the oven. And that is what it is supposed to look like.